Viewing from Worthing to the Isle of Wight, 28th of May, 2019, Tuesday, the time 1935. 60 kilometers, 37.3 miles, and 61.2 kilometers, 38 miles. Location, Worthing Sailing Club. Location, the Isle of Wight. Isle of Wight and coastal locations. From the Worthing Sailing Club, the Isle of Wight was observed with a Nikon P900. Here's the video recording. Video still, looking towards the Isle of Wight from Worthing Sailing Club. What are we seeing? Line of sight from Worthing to north-south Isle of Wight. Line of sight from Worthing to Isle of Wight past Selsey. Sight from Worthing over Selsey to Isle of Wight past Culver Down. Land elevations on the Selsey Peninsula. And land elevations from the Selsey Peninsula. The greatest elevations within Selsey are maximum 10 to 11 meters above MSL, or mean sea level. The highest elevations of Selsey Peninsula in line of sight between the Isle of Wight and Worthing Sailing Club. The highest elevation on the Selsey Peninsula is 10 to 11 meters above mean sea level. Only the southern part of the Isle of Wight does not have Selsey directly in front of it. The pink section represents the clear line of sight to the Isle of Wight from Worthing Sailing Club. Are there any other photographs of the Isle of Wight? Isle of Wight from Selsey, Bill Point. Exceptionally good visibility at sunset meant the Isle of Wight was clearly visible from Brighton. At its highest point, St. Boniface, down near Ventnor, the island is 241 meters above sea level. Bright sunshine playing down on the Isle of Wight, highlighting the White Culver Cliff. The Isle of Wight from Selsey and Culver Down Cliff. View to the Isle of Wight from Selsey. Bird's eye view of the Isle of Wight from a tower block on Brighton seafront. The Isle of Wight on the horizon. Isle of Wight from West Wittering Beach. The Isle of Wight from West Wittering Beach. The Isle of Wight from West Wittering Beach. What is causing these pieces of land to look darker or lighter compared to each other, as well as look closer and further away from the observer? Area A looks more hazy compared to Area B, as it is further away from the observer and has more sea, mist, haze obscuring its view. Area C is at a higher elevation than B. This is why further away hazy land can be observed above the darker B area of land. How much of the Isle of Wight is being observed? Only the southern section of the Isle of Wight was observed. Photograph of the Isle of Wight from West Wittering. What could be seen from Worthing Sailing Club? Lines of sight from Worthing to Isle of Wight past Selsey. Only the southern part of the Isle of Wight does not have Selsey directly in front of it. The pink section represents the clear line of sight to the Isle of Wight from Worthing Sailing Club. Maximum elevations across the south of the Isle of Wight. Highest elevations on the south of the Isle of Wight that would be observed from Worthing Sailing Club. What is the highest elevation of the lowest section? 82 meters is the highest elevation of the lowest observable section of the southern section of the Isle of Wight. "82 meters is the highest elevation of the lowest observable section of the southern section of the Isle of Wight." 82 meters is the highest elevation of the lowest observable section of the southern section of the Isle of Wight. Tide data, Tuesday the 28th of May, 2019. Tide level at 1935, 4.69 meters above the lowest astronomical tide. Tide level at Isle of Wight. The stretch of the Isle of Wight being observed was between Ventnor and close to Bembridge, so an average value will be taken. The tide level at 1935 was 3.03 meters above the lowest astronomical tide. What is the lowest astronomical tide? It is defined as the lowest tide level which can be predicted to occur under average meteorological conditions and under any combination of astronomical conditions. Many national charting agencies, including the United Kingdom Hydrographic Office and the Australian Hydrographic Service, use LAT to define chart datums. Data analysis. Worthing tide level above lowest astronomical tide was 4.69 meters, and the Worthing mean sea level 3.3 meters, so the Worthing tide level is 1.39 meters above MSL. The camera tripod on the beach 4 meters above mean sea level, camera on tripod 1 meter above the ground. So the camera height nets out to 3.61 meters above tide level. Isle of Wight section tide level above the LAT was 3.03 meters, and Isle of Wight section mean sea level is 2.37 meters, so that nets out to 0.66 meters above mean sea level. The highest elevation of lowest observable southern section of the Isle of Wight, 82 meters above mean sea level. Highest elevation of lowest observable, acronym HELO, HELO. The section height there nets out to 81.34 meters above tide level. In summary, the southern section of the Isle of Wight was observed from Worthing Sailing Club at a distance of 60 kilometers or 37.3 miles. The camera at Worthing was 3.61 meters above tide level, and the observed Isle of Wight land was 81.34 meters above tide level. So what does the Earth calculator say? According to the globe, or similar sized oblate spheroid ellipsoid model, at a distance of 60 kilometers or 37.3 miles, the hidden geometric height is 222 meters. A standard refraction modified value of 7/6, the assumed radius of Earth, will not be used for the following reasons. Number one, the assumed radius of the assumed globe Earth has not been proved using the scientific method. There is no repeatable and reproducible empirical evidence to support the assumed radius value. It is to date an unproven assumption. Please see the following YouTube URL. Number two, surveyors may use a correction of 7/6 of the assumed radius of Earth for the refraction of light over ground, which is a vague, unproven generalization, making it not applicable and particularly not applicable to these observations over water. Also, as you know, different surfaces can cause different refraction effects. For example, a tarmac road on a warm day causes the refraction of light in an upward direction. What about bare soil, grassland, shrub, forest, urban environments? What about the time of day and season, humidity, and weather? I'm waiting for someone to provide a comprehensive study with empirical evidence. If anyone makes a bold statement, just apply the acid test of honesty and ask them for their personal empirical evidence. You will soon discern who the liars are. And number three, when it comes to the refraction of light over water, the experienced people are those that are actually doing regular observations during the day and night, Email them for their thoughts and empirical evidence. What does hidden geometric height and hidden refracted height actually mean? Well, using mathematical geometry, it can be calculated at what distance one point on a circle or sphere, point A here, cannot be seen from another point, point B here, due to the curvature blocking the line of sight. The height from the surface of the circle sphere that would not be visible at a distance between the 2 points due to the curvature blocking the line of sight can also be calculated. This blocked height from tide level upwards due to curvature is termed as the hidden geometric height. In the example below, the observer at point B cannot view the white cliff at point A because the curvature of the circle sphere is blocking the line of sight to the cliff. The greater the distance the observer is from point A, the more around the curvature the observer will be relative to point A, and the greater the hidden geometric height will be at point A. If this observation was carried out on a globe with a radius of 6,371 kilometers or 3,959 miles, or a similar sized oblate spheroid ellipsoid at a distance of 60 kilometers or 37.2 miles, then the curvature blocking the line of sight would result in the following hidden heights at point A. Hidden geometric height, 222 meters. If this observation was carried out on a globe, then no southern section of the Isle of Wight lower than 222 meters above the tide level would have been visible. If we lived on a globe, the land under the red line would not be visible. What has been observed is approximately 60% lower than what should be visible on a globe. This is not a special or rare observation. This is what is observed on a reasonably clear day with the naked eye. How do the models compare to real-life observations? Video still from the real-life observation. Camera 1 meter above ground level. Note how high the land is above the sea. Can the globe model replicate real life? Google Earth Pro zoom in function. That doesn't look like it matches the real-life observation. Here, zooming in to the Isle of Wight from Worthing Sailing Club. Google Earth Pro zoom in function. Zooming in to the Isle of Wight from Worthing Sailing Club. Either real life is broken or the globe model is nonsense. You decide. Conclusions. It would not be possible to view the lower southern land of the Isle of Wight if we lived on a globe or similar sized oblate spheroid ellipsoid with a radius of approximately 6,371 kilometers or 3,959 miles. This observation was carried out and recorded multiple times. We do not live on a globe. How might someone respond to this observation? If anyone says this observation is incorrect or the conclusions are mistaken, then see what personal empirical evidence, recorded and date and time-stamped observations, and measurements they present to support their statement. When empirical evidence is not forthcoming, because they did not have any, one or more of the following will be used instead: obfuscation, deflection, word salad, or direct you to a model. When the person supplies no personal empirical evidence but instead employs one of the 4 distractions listed above, you will immediately know the person is disingenuous and out to deceive you. This is the acid test of honesty. There is an Earth observer that goes by the name of Exploring the Plane. His camera work and presentations are excellent. Please check out his YouTube channel. The link is in the description. Please do not just believe what has been presented here. Grab a pair of binoculars and observe. My sincere thanks to Lee the Ham for the use of his P900. I do not deserve to have such an amazing piece of kit that I take for granted. Paul and the Plane for his technical support in the production of this video. All the people that I'm sharing this most wonderful and interesting journey with for their support, questions, discussions, and most importantly, their friendship.